From the time I arrived in Montreal for my surgery, I was a bit nervous and the anxiety finally kicked in. Fortunately for me, that Saturday morning, I had 4 friends. I have a group of sisters called the Mod Chick Mafia, and there are 10 of us. And 4 of them were leaving their husbands, boyfriends, their children, including a newborn baby, to come up and spend time with me in Montreal.
Oh, yeah?
Pepper spray, but I wasn't stopped for a minute.
We must have looked
What they
suspicious.
ask you?
Nothing?
Where are you going? How long are you going to be there? Where are you from? Are you carrying anything with you?
I'm glad
You have
she
anything
didn't
to
say
declare?
Massachusetts, because then we would have been strip searched. Pull over here, man! On the box!
He's like, how did you all meet? And I wanted to say, we all came across the border in that box
And they didn't want me to be up there alone, going through a major surgery by myself. And having them coming up gave me something very much to look forward to. Because as much anxiety and fear as I was hiding on the inside, they actually gave me a few minutes to get out and see Montreal and to laugh and to smile and do a good job of masking the internal fear that I actually had riding throughout every bone and drop of blood in my body.
What did you say?
No, Sunday night.
Your death mark?
Yeah.
That's not nice.
It's just a joke.
Nice.
It's a joke.
It's not funny.
The
box
walk.
The
Yeah.
box walk.
We like the box.
We like the box better. Getting rid of the twigs and berries.
Buying a new box.
That night, after we spent some time in their room, their Saturday night was my last time out for dinner that I wasn't eating at the residence or in the hospital. And that was finally the time that I could sit down and relax and be myself. That was my farewell dinner. I actually was able to enjoy my last adult beverage at that time. It never tasted so good, and it hasn't tasted as good since.
Has anyone given you any grief about it? Like,
Not one person.
not even like, hey, this is a strange question, but I mean, besides us, that'll drill you.
No, but you guys are allowed to ask anything you want. But nobody has given me any grief. Nobody has
So
said
no,
anything.
no, like weird looks,
Nope.
you know, at the party or anything.
Nope.
That's awesome.
This is my last breakfast. This is my last lunch. This is my last shopping day. This is my last time with my friends as a complete male, knowing 24 hours later I was going to be in a life-altering surgery, and there was absolutely no going back. Never having any form of surgery in my lifetime, I was a little concerned, and I went for the gusto. I went for a big one for a first one. Everything spent that day was internal nerves going, this is my last, this is my last, this is my last.
I know, me either. That's why I said what you got on.
You've never seen me in jeans before?
No! You're always all dressed up, even for Nima and stuff. You like always had either your white dress pants on or
I like to look good. Cynthia's proud of her looks. John wasn't.
you look good.
Yeah,
in
but you
jeans.
can look good in jeans. You do look good.
Yeah, thank you. One thing I was fearing the whole time I knew these girls were coming, and I knew it was going to be tough for me. And I knew this when it came. It was the hardest thing for me to do was to actually say goodbye to these girls. I knew saying goodbye to them also meant saying goodbye to me. And it was the last time I would see these girls in the physical stature that I was. And although I was there for something very, very positive in my life, it was very, very heartbreaking and very, very tough for me to have that piece of home leave me. I love you guys. Thank you.
I love you too.
That's why we came.
We'll even come next time.
I think I paid for the first time. Monday morning, I woke up fairly early. I was due for surgery around 11 a.m. I was able to keep my mind occupied because I had a lot of friends that called. I had quite a few text messages, and thank God for Wi-Fi internet. I was able to stay in touch with a lot of my racing friends via racersboard.com, which is pretty much where I spent the majority of my morning chatting with them because it was the distraction that I needed in that last touch of home and my last chance to say goodbye.
Listening to your story almost makes me believe in God.
Yeah, really.
Like, he's just putting these people in your life and giving you all the encouragement and support you need to know that, you know, this is right and he's behind you. God, you're almost making me believe in God, you bastard.
Well, I don't know about that, but I've definitely gained a lot of respect for humanity. Once they finally called me to the operating room or to the prep room, I think the stress of it was finally going to be over. The next time I was awoke, next time I was walking, I would finally be as I should have been 43 years ago. Sure, there's a lot to look back upon and a lot to reflect upon, but to know that I had a brighter, happier future ahead was weighing on me. The fact that I have no experience being surgically operated on whatsoever was also very much stressing me out. So there's a lot of conflicts of emotions, mentally and physically. Hopefully I'll be dreaming of being on a warm beach someplace, sipping a nice frozen cocktail with friends, laughing. Preferably the mod chicks. Definitely the mod chicks. I remember being wheeled into the operating room, and I remember it being cold. I remember hearing the sounds of classical music being pumped in over the PA system. They slid me from the gurney over to the operating table, and all of a sudden it was just like a NASCAR pit crew. They came at me from all four directions. One person was grabbing one arm to put in the IV, another person was grabbing another arm to check my blood pressure, another person was putting oxygen sensors on my fingertips. I remember feeling the coldness, I remember feeling them touch, I remember them putting some type of boots on my legs, and I remember feeling the pressure of the boots. It seemed like they inflated them with something. I remember them putting a mask over my mouth, and then there was silence. Basically what happens is they take what is an external organ and create it as an internal organ. A lot of people seem to think that the external genitals are cut off or removed. They are not. You are castrated. Your scrotum skin and your penile skin are actually cut and inverted, and so you have what was an outie is now an innie, in turn leaving all the nerves connected, leaving all feeling there, and allow me to be orgasmic in the future, retaining all feeling. So the actual misconception that the penis is cut off, the penis is not cut off. The penis is actually split down the middle, gutted, and reformatted internally.
Cynthia, your operation is finished. You're now in the recovery room. Open your eyes.
I am me. I'm enjoying life. This was the best decision that I ever made.